It's as close to time travel as we're gonna get. This Week in Music History with Marty Miller.
Okay, so the premise here is that we go through a week in music history as quickly as we possibly can. You're done and dusted, always in less than 10 minutes. We're looking at the week of June 9th until 13th. Hello, my name is Marty Miller. I hope you are very, very good. So do you remember in 2006 hearing about Led Zeppelin being in secret rehearsals? It's true. He sounded like this. More on that in a minute. Paul McCartney was marrying who in Ireland in 2002?
As you know through Uncle Jack, it is tomorrow.
But it's a secret.
And in 2015, there was a mid-show accident for Dave Grohl of Foo Fighters.
I think I just broke my leg.
Zipping through a week in a matter of minutes. This Week in Music History, the podcast.
1978, the Rolling Stones gave us the Some Girls album, their first studio record recorded with Ronnie Wood as a full-time member. At the time, there was a little bit of competition, shall we say, to get stuff on the record.
There is competition, don't get me wrong. Play the best, to sing the best, to be the most together, or the most untogether. Who can get the most girls? Who can get a particular girl before the other one?
In 1998, this week, Liam Gallagher and Simply Red singer Mick Hucknall were involved in a punch-up at a hotel in London. Well, it seems Mick called Noel a dickhead, and then Liam got in a fight with Mickhead. Because Liam likes an old push and a shove, not the Mick Hucknall one, but another one he was involved in.
You look like a bad dick. Bring it. Come on then. Pull your cameras away now. You knobhead. You don't need it. I'll have you, knobhead. No, so you look like a dickhead.
1964, the madness. On their first world tour, the Beatles took a flight from Hong Kong to Australia, making an unscheduled fuel stop in Darwin, where over 400 fans greeted the aircraft. Imagine just turning up on spec because they might. The Beatles then flew on to Sydney, where they arrived in the middle of a heavy downpour. The group were required to appear on an open-top truck in pouring rain to wave at thousands of fans greeting them at the airport. Nuts.
Beatles have just arrived and are about to set foot for the first time in our country.
An assurance has been given that police will do everything in their power to help the fans see the Beatles.
Any minute now, the Beatles will be arriving at the Southern Cross. Their car is in Burke Street, and the fans are going really mad. Here they come. Here come the Beatles with a police escort. The crowd surging forward, absolutely out of control.
Zipping through a week in a matter of minutes. This Week in Music History, the podcast.
2006, Led Zeppelin met at a secret rehearsal space in the UK to run through songs for their forthcoming O2 benefit tribute to Atlantic Records co-founder, the late Amit Ertegun. The gig would happen in December 2007. Meanwhile, in 2002 this week, Paul McCartney married Heather Mills at Castle Leslie in Monaghan. This one did not include the look of the Irish. It wasn't long before that all fell apart. Guests, though, on the day: Ringo Starr, David Gilmour of Pink Floyd, Jools Holland, Chrissie Hynde and so much more. Up around Castle Leslie, great excitement.
He's a very high-profile guy, and so is Heather, and they get into all the top magazines, and people watch the media, people watch this local news, international news, and it's a massive boost. It's unbelievable.
And they received flowers and a copy of the family crest, marking the McCartney connection with this part of County Monaghan.
As you know through Uncle Jack, it is tomorrow.
But it's a secret.
All right. I'm not supposed to tell anybody anything. So what we're going to do is basically a family wedding. So we're going to have family and friends, and we're just going to have a bit of fun.
And we just mentioned David Gilmour being at Paul's wedding in 2005. Pink Floyd announced that they would reunite with former bassist Roger Waters, who left the band in 1985. This was all to do with the Live 8 London concert. It would be the first time the band played together as a quartet since the Wall tour of 1981.
I think Dave was a bit surprised when the phone rang, and it was me. But anyway, we sort of, chatted for a few minutes, and he said, well, I'll think about it. And he called me back about 24 hours later and said, yeah, all right, I'll do it.
It's been an awful long time since we've all played together, so it's an interesting experience that I was definitely looking forward to. The first day was very entertaining.
This week in music history, a week in less than 10 minutes.
Foo Fighters playing a show in 2015 this week when Dave Grohl fell off the stage in Sweden and copped pretty quickly it wasn't good.
I think I just broke my leg. I think I really broke my leg. So look, right now, I'm gonna go to the hospital. I'm gonna fix my leg. But then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna play for you again. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
1995, Alanis Morissette released the album Jagged Little Pill. The album went to sell over 30 million copies worldwide. Here's Alanis.
And the good news is that these songs, I can still stand by them. I can still perform them. And there is a timelessness for me.
Do playing the songs now or even listening to them again, does it conjure up some of those same very intense emotions in you?
It does.
And what it all comes down to is that I haven't got it all figured out just yet.
I feel so much empathy and understanding and more perspective on it now, especially as a mom.
Finally, 2017 this week, Anita Pallenberg, actress and model, best known for her relationships with members of the Rolling Stones, died at the age of 73. Pallenberg was the girlfriend of Brian Jones, but left him for fellow Rolling Stone Keith Richards. It was also alleged that she had an affair with Mick Jagger, but she always denied that.
And there they were, and then he says, you want to come and meet them? By then I already had my little stash of hashish that I used to carry around with me. So I offered them a joint. I says, you want to have a joint? No, we can't. So the only one afterwards, after the show, was Brian. He says, yeah, I'll have some.
And that is a look at this week in music history. That is June 9th until 13th. Getting through the decades in less than 10 minutes. My name is Marty Miller. Thanks a lot for listening.
Zipping through a week in a matter of minutes. This week in music history, the podcast.